These are my top 10 receivers in the NFL this season based on projected production. At number 10, I have Puka Nacua. I got to be honest, I was a little reluctant putting Puka this high due to questions surrounding Matthew Stafford's back and the addition of Davante Adams possibly cutting into his production. But I'm going to try to stay optimistic and say Puka still produces enough to warrant this ranking. At number 9, I have CeeDee Lamb. And I can already hear the sound of Cowboy fans popping a gasket over Lamb being this low. And I'll admit to being surprised myself after I ran the data for my projections. But I'm going to trust my process. I think the addition of George Pickens is going to keep CD from putting up the type of numbers of the guys I have just ahead of him. At number 8 is Marvin Harrison Jr. This is another instance where I was surprised because going into the process, the possibility of Marvin Harrison putting up top 10 numbers wasn't even a consideration. But I do expect a nice leap from Harrison and from the Cardinal offense overall. At number 7 is Drake London, who I think is going to start establishing himself as one of the best in the game. Look for him to improve upon last year's numbers across the board. And if I had a dark horse candidate to push for All-Pro honors, Drake would be the guy. At 6, I have Nico Collins, and I have to wonder if I've got him too low. But I can't help but drop him a little bit due to his history of injuries. If he can stay healthy for a full 17 games, he may very well likely push for a top 3 ranking. At number 5 is Brian Thomas Jr. Thomas is about to put the league on notice that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, and that he's one of the best young stars at the position. I expect him to continue building off his stellar rookie campaign and put up fantastic production. At number 4 is Malik Nabers, another young superstar in the making. Whether it's Russell Wilson early on or possibly Jackson Dart later in the season, Nabers is going to dominate no matter who's behind center. I think by the 2026-27 season, we may be talking about Nabers as a legit All-Pro candidate. At number 3 is Justin Jefferson. If I was ranking receivers strictly on talent, I'd have Jefferson in the top spot. But I'm dropping him to 3 here due to uncertainty over J.J. McCarthy, whose level of play could push Jefferson to the top spot here or possibly cause him to be lower. At number 2, I have A.J. Brown. With defenses continuing to make Saquon Barkley the primary focus, I expect Jalen Hurts to have a huge year, and therefore A.J. Brown is going to have a huge year. This could go down as career years for both Brown and Devonta Smith, and I look for Brown to earn second-team All-Pro honors. And at number 1 is Ja'Marr Chase. Because, who else would you have here? As long as Burrow and Chase can stay healthy, they're going to put up video game numbers. My projections for Chase actually seem outlandish to me, as it wouldn't surprise me if he seriously challenges the record for receiving touchdowns in a season. I'm not sure he's going to be that dominant, but still, his projections clear the others by a wide margin. So there you have it. There's my wide receiver rankings for this season. Let me know in the comments section what you agree with and what you disagree with. And if you enjoy this content, please consider giving us a follow.